Hello, everyone. This is Henry June from Jackson'sLegalNursingGroup.com, and I wanted to welcome every single one of you, my lovely viewers, to the new year 2026. I hope everyone had a fantastic New Year's, and I just want to hope that each and every one of you is going to challenge yourself to get better each and every day and to keep that New Year's resolution throughout the entire year. Before we get started, I want to do some housekeeping. So, one and foremost, I hope that you guys noticed the change in the channel name from DME Decoded with Henry June to Henry June DME Nurse. The reason why I changed it is because I wanted to just make it easier for you guys to find my channel, just in case you wanted to just get that quick Henry June in. Another thing, I am changing the layout of the channel. So you might also have noticed on my YouTube channel that I converted the, I would say, the first season of my channel into a playlist. So you can find all 7 of the episodes on one playlist. Now we're going to start doing seasons. So now we are in season 2 for year 2, and we're going to go from there. I am going to still continue to put out the episodes every 2 weeks, but on the week that I am not posting, I'm going to send out clips, shortened clips of my episodes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. I have also added in the weekly guard. And what the weekly guard is supposed to do is give tidbit information to paralegals and attorneys on tests that a defense doctor might do. And then also just inform you guys on how important nurses are at a defense medical examination. I'm going to start posting regularly on Thursdays at 7 p.m. If you are a nurse, you're just getting off of your shift change. If you're an attorney or paralegal, you are able to expect to have a drop on my channel every 2 weeks on Thursday at 7 p.m. So for those that are new to my channel, I'm going to do a revamp of episode 1 in the first season, which is the defense medical examination. For those that have already watched it, there's a little bit of new information, but it's the same thing about educating the public on why nurses at the defense medical examination is so important so that you can get the best quality report. So go ahead and grab that cup of coffee and let's dive right into why a nurse is needed in a defense medical examination. All right, guys. So have you ever had to see a doctor due to a injury like an accident, slip and fall, or just an injury at work? You usually go see a doctor to feel better, right? You see your primary doctor so that they can examine you, see if you have a fracture, see if you hurt anything, get some scans done so that you can get better and that they will be on your side and make sure that you go to either like physical therapy, occupational therapy so that you can get better and get back to your normal life. However, on the other side, in the legal case, in a personal injury, workers' compensation, or even medical malpractice case, you have a doctor that is on the opposing side that is there to see if you're over exaggerating on your injury. And they just are taking a second look or a second opinion, and they're hired by the insurance company or the other side. And these medical examinations are called defense medical exams, or they could be referred to as an independent medical exam or a compulsory medical exam. They are all the same thing, and they have a doctor looking at you from the opposite lens. They are hired by the insurance company, the defensive side, to question everything. And that is why you need a legal nurse consultant there so that they have the client's back and a they are an independent party to observe what the doctor did and what your client is doing during the examination. So think of a defense medical examination as a fact check. And the defense doctor, which is hired by the insurance company, is looking through the notes, looking through the medical records to see if it's actually true that your back actually hurts. Even though they say it's a independent medical examination, it is actually paid for by the insurance company or the opposing party. Okay. So back to what I was saying at the beginning, there are three common uh, names for the same thing. So you have the independent medical exam, defense medical exam, and the compulsory medical examination. Now think about it. If they say it's an independent examination, why is it that the insurance company is paying the doctor to look to see if you are actually injured? In my eyes, you might think that if someone is paying you a handsome amount of money to see if the patient is actually injured, you would try to find out if there is any way possible that it is not related to the incident, right? I make sure that the doctor plays by the rules that are set forth by the court and that both parties, the client and the doctor, is not being not being aggressive, demeaning, asking liability questions, playing into them following the rules of what the court requested and implemented. Before the examination, I read what is allowed and not allowed during the examination. The client only has to bring their ID. A lot of times they are not allowed to do scans, and they do allow observationalists, such as myself or another independent observer, to attend the medical examination. This rule book tells the doctor what they can and cannot do. One of the things that sometimes happens when no one is present during the medical examination, the doctor tries to pull a fast one, tries to either collect blood or do a scan or even get a list of medicine from the client. They do not need to do that. Another example is that a doctor might request that the patient go ahead and go to another scan, or they fill out a form for their office even though in the rule book it states specifically that the client does not need to sign out any paperwork when they are at the medical examination office. The one thing that is very important to articulate to the client or just inform them of is that once you hit the parking lot, you are being observed every second, every minute until the end of the examination. Once you are in your car and leaving the parking lot, you are being observed. I can tell you countless times where I have seen cameras in the lobby. The doctors are watching your every move to see if you're faking your injury. So if you are saying that you hurt your knees, but for some reason you're skipping around outside of the office, that is a problem. You need to be honest when it comes to your injuries. Another thing when it comes to observations, if you say that your right leg is hurting, the doctor moves your right leg, it extremely hurts, but you internalize it and you don't articulate or speak up about the pain, specifically when it comes to audio recordings, you need to vocalize that and tell them, did it radiate or travel anywhere? Did it stay in one spot? Vocalizing that will help you out a lot. During the medical examination, it is not the best idea to internalize your pain. You want to let everyone know how painful the injury was to your body. Now, this is the best segue into how powerful the nurse observer's notes are. While the doctor is checking you out, I am writing like my hand is on fire. Every little detail that is being done, that is being said, and that is not being said. I'm like a human stopwatch. If the doctor spends 20 minutes on the history part of the examination, but only 3 minutes on the physical examination, there is a problem there, right? So if you are being allotted, right, the doctor's being allotted an hour to do a full examination of the client, and you have the doctor spending 20 minutes just talking to the client, which could be audio recorded or video recorded, that and anyone can hear the questions that the doctor is uh, asking the client, and then only 3 minutes during an examination, a physical examination, that is, hmm, that's not what I would expect from a medical examination, right? And then, say for instance, the doctor sends a report that is like 50 pages. 50 pages of what? Of a 3 minute exam stating that you did a whole bunch of tests when you had an observer there that only witnessed you do a physical exam for 3 minutes. Make that make sense, right? Now, after the exam, I write down what transpired throughout the examination process from when I did the prep to when we arrived, when we went back, when the exams was started and finished, and when the client and I left the exam. All of that is written down in a report, which is short, concise, and punctual of what happened every step of the way. I don't use fancy medical terms as a synopsis. It is best to have a nurse observer at the medical examination, not just for protection, but so that you can stand guard over the truth of what happened during the medical examination. The examination process, you do not want to leave it up to chance for the doctor to just write a report on what he thinks or what his perspective is during the medical examination. So you don't want just the doctor's report stating that, oh, everything was fine. Like I was explaining earlier, they are given an hour to do these medical examinations. Sometimes they don't even take that entire hour. They only take maybe 30 minutes to do the examination. Mind you, remember from season one, I was telling you that different there's two parts of the medical examination. You have the physical and you have the history. And a lot of times, the doctors are just going line by line when it comes to the history part of the examination. Then once they get to the physical, they take 3, 5 minutes, max 10, and you're done. And then for some reason, they're writing dissertations on what happened during the medical examination process. Alrighty, guys. So that concludes our first episode, which was a rehash of the defense medical examination. If you're an attorney that is looking for a nurse observer to attend any defense medical examination throughout the state of Florida, reach out. I'll drop my information in the description. And thank you guys for listening. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And definitely share this to any personal injury workers' compensation, or medical malpractice attorneys that you do know, because client advocacy is what this business is about, especially when it comes to the defense medical examination. We need to make sure that nurses are there observing, making sure that the client is not getting taken advantage of during this process. And they deserve to have an independent observer present to make sure that everything is on the up and ups. I hope to see you guys in 2 weeks. See you next time. You guys keep on working hard and making sure that you strive to be better each and every day.